Here I'm just like to reflect myself here after coming and traveling the entire world through hundreds and hundreds of railway stations, metro stations, and different cities across the entire world. I have to say, I'm standing at one of the most busy cross-junction stations on the entire planet, Shinagawa, here in Tokyo. In Shinagawa district, it's one of the most essentially important central zones of Tokyo. Public buildings and public property, with retail to service industries, to markets, to all different types of merchandising and so on and so forth. Passengers from across the city, across the nation, crisscross here through many different means of transport, from the fast trains, the Shinkansen, to the monorail system, down to the airport express, to the bus terminals, to taxi ranks, to Shinkansen and fast trains, and one of the efficient and effective transport networks on the entire planet. Services and goods, from retailing to food stalls, to cake stalls, to bakery stores, to all types of food and other merchandise is sold here. To me, if this was anywhere else in comparison to any train station on anywhere on this world, it'll be a chaos. It'll be dirty, it'll be smelly, it'll be hot, it'll be bothered. They will be challenged by touts, you'll be challenged by extortionists, you'll be challenged by the beggars, you'll be challenged by many means of distraction for humans' wellness and the well-being. And much said, the stores there are open and they all trade honestly and respectfully towards all people. They've upgraded the standard of living here since Second World War, and ever since that day the country has increased the betterness of the entire population of this country. As I said, if this was anywhere else on the planet, there'll be beggars, there'll be thieves, there'll be extortionists, there'll be fights, there'll be arguments, there'll be touts. They will take every single penny out of your pocket. There'll be beggars as well as drug addicts, drug dealers. All types of transactions will take place. Homeless, destitute, hungry, all of them will exist at a train station. It is normal anywhere on the planet. Not here in Tokyo, not here in Japan. That aspect of life does not exist here. It is incredible to understand that why can't we follow my lips? Why can't we do the same everywhere else in the world? Not the political behavior, not the religious behavior, not the personal individual behavior when you're behind the scene, behind your doors in your private homes, but in the public. Why can't we improve the standard of living, from sanitizing, from hygiene levels, to the good foods, to good air, good environment, the clean environment, the clean standard of living? Why can't we have these basic necessities for all humans on this planet Earth? Every country can arrive at this very most sophisticated and upgraded standard of living for all their population, all their citizens. Every country can arrive at this very important improvements to the way of life. And why are we not doing this? Why can't we go out, reach out to the world and share this standard of living to all the living beings on the planet. Talk to me. Why do we need United Nations when we can take an example what is functioning efficiently, effectively, with an intelligent and respectfully and embracing society as this as here in Japan? An amazing amount of journey that I have done across the planet, trying to share my knowledge with the people on the ground and improve the standard of living for all. Improve the way of life for all. Improve the hygiene levels for all. Sanitary, the hygiene, the health. And that's what we need. We will not be sick. We will not be sick by eating the food. We will not be sick by sitting and walking on excrement and so on. Why cannot we do this to all beings on the planet? Take an example. I'm sure many of the leaders of the world have seen this example. And it can be done. It has been done. It is working. It is perfectly in sync. It is perfectly in order. Maybe for so many different minds, my commentary might be a questionable commentary. Yet, if we can improve the standard of living for all humans, every single living person on the planet, and every single citizen of that nation, we would not have to look back and regret by seeing a destitute, a hungry, a homeless, suffering from cold, suffering from heat, suffering from hygiene, suffering from hunger, suffering from lack of resources, suffering from lack of money to feed themselves, begging. All of that will disappear overnight if we can get this standard of living for all the beings on this planet. I'll leave you with this thought. I'm sure I can be challenged in many different ways. But if we can improve somebody else's life by not having for that person to suffer, struggle, and to see the pain and struggle that goes through when we don't have to see that for anyone. And this country have done that for their people. They collectively came together to do that. And I'm sure we can do that exactly the same in every nation. And collectively, the entire world can be improved without corruption, without extortion, without fraud, without all those different things. Yes, the fraud, extortion, civilized society does exist this way. If you say civilized, that means no police. I have not seen a police officers here in the public domain because there's no need for it. They are there. Only if you approach them, they will assist you. And very little job that they've got to do, because they don't have to deal with what we have to deal with any of the stations that exist around the world because of lack of resources, rationed resources to their population, because of greed by the hierarchy of that nation, greed by self-centered individuals of some of these nations. And all of the nations, apart from this country, have got the focus and the basic necessities for all humans of this, all citizens of this country, equally distributed. Thank you for listening. Most of all, it must be painful to realize what I'm saying, but it is true. Put yourself in the spot of a hungry, a homeless, a drug addict. All that happens because of the environment. If the environment does not present a pleasant and a beautiful, clean atmosphere, people will fall into trap of extortionists, drug addicts, thieves, prostitution. All of that will happen at a train station. Yes, it does. It does exist at train station. I cannot see prostitution here. I cannot see drug dealers. I cannot see police on the surface. And that's what I'm saying. Everything is so pleasant to be just walking around, absorbing the pleasantness and the beauty. I'm standing in a little corner. I don't want to disturb the harmonious feel about here in this station. Spoken for 10 minutes, and it's 10 minutes of true feeling that I have for people, humans, simply for humans, for people of the world. And I'm equally the same as every single person on this planet. And why cannot we get everyone to feel the same? Everyone to feel the same need of upgrading the standard of life for all citizens. Reaching out and giving your hand, exchanging knowledge, exchanging the share of experience with one another, and upgrade the standard of living for all. Basic necessities for life. We talk at United Nations and all the summits that exist, that we come together to talk about improving the life for all. Improving the life for peace and freedom for all. This is what is an example of it. This is what is done since Second World War. Continually improve the standard of living and the life for all of the citizens here in this country, in Japan. Very meaningful life when we can all appreciate the standard of life in the same way. And we can contribute so much to our lives, to one another's lives, when we can. And it is possible, and it has been done here in Japan. It can easily be done anywhere on the planet if we start to do it now. And that mindset in yours needs to be set to change, to improve, and make that change for the improvement of all of the citizens of the world. Starting from an intelligent hierarchy of government and the royalty and the people who are at the top. They can all do the same and think the same and contribute for improving the standard of living for all of their citizens without shortchange for the standard of living for their citizens who they have been elected into government and who respect their kingdoms and royalties across the planet. Why could they can appreciate higher standard of living when everyone else in that nation has been refused or denied of the most basics of needs, such as food, clean water, clean air, a clean sanitary environment, clean food, which gives energy and the standard of health. You can upgrade the entire way of life anywhere on the planet, any community, at any time. And we would not have to struggle to see the pain and suffering across in front of our eyes. I have spoken enough, but it's painful for me to see that we are unable to understand, to realize the great urgency to increase the level of services, level of peace, level of harmony, level of tranquility for our citizens of the world. I hope, folk, this video and the cumulative amount of videos I have got, and people who are working towards a better society, a better universe, a better world, a better nation, better community, better village, better town, better family, can start to make some change today. By about a generation, by about 2 generations, by about 3, by about 4 generations, we could probably arrive at these levels of standards for your citizens as well as the citizens of the community as a whole. I'm absolutely humbled to be enabled to engage with so many people and learn so many different things, mainly from the elders of this country and across the entire minority portions of the world. And I experience so much different. When you talk about the elderly, they all think of the same, with a great big heart, and they're shaped by meaningful life. They're shaped by efficient, effective, resourceful, self-sufficient life, contributory, embracing, very powerful, meaningful lives that they have lived. I have crossed so many of their paths, from the Tsukiji fish market here in Tokyo to some of the old heritage cities up in the north, in Fukushima Prefecture, Iwate, Aoto, Tochigi, Shinagawa, and so on, and Kanagawa, and so on, and Tokyo. I can carry on to talk my words, maybe when I'm not any longer alive. Hopefully these words could somewhat put into some kind of practice by people who are in power, people who are in great possibilities for change. They could do a lot of things. And I thank you all, whoever move forward by thinking not just for yourself, but thinking for others and increasing the way of life, the standard of living for all, without compromising the quality of standard of living, and increasing the quantity but not compromising the quality of living. For all, think for yourself. If you all put yourself in that position, I have repeated this because it is important for me to repeat, because we forget the words that we speak. We select the words that we need to speak. We need to be selective of how we act, how responsible we become towards each other and all of the wellness and the humanity of the world. Thank you.